Once upon a time, everyone said that Kvaratskhelia fell off after winning the Scudetto at Napoli. They were wrong. He never declined. Napoli just couldn't give him any more. He went to PSG, played with players on his wavelength, and became one of the best on the planet. That is exactly where Rafael Leao is right now, and Chelsea need to be the ones who give him what Milan couldn't. Here are my 5 arguments as to why Chelsea must sign Rafael Leao this summer. For my first argument, heritage. Chelsea heritage. We've built our success in the modern day era playing a counter-attacking game. We've never been a possession team. We haven't won anything significant by being dominant on the ball with over 65% possession. Look at every success over the last 20 years now. Mourinho's back-to-back title successes. The Champions League titles, European titles, trophies. You can go on. Back last summer, we beat Paris Saint-Germain, upsetting the whole world, surprising the entire world, playing in a similar vein. Counterattacks is what makes Chelsea what they are, and a front three that generally causes fear in the opposition. For me, that's Chelsea identity, and looking at the game now, and looking at teams now where the game's even headed, the best teams aren't winning because they have the most possession. A lot of times they're winning through the use of wingers. Not attacking mids, not 10s chipping in with 4 goals each a season. It's actual wide threats that force managers from the opposition to have plans against them to try and stop them. Building entire tactical setups to try and nullify these types of players. And right now in this modern day game, it is best typified by the best team on the planet in Paris Saint-Germain. We've experimented with attacking mids for years, from your Kai Havertz and Ziyech, with your Nkunkus, your Felixes, your Palmers. You can go on, man. Does it work for Chelsea at the elite level? That's a conversation to have, because the best teams right now are turning back to wingers, man. And for me, it's time for Chelsea to actually restore this in the game. And the biggest weakness we've seen for the last 6-7 years has been that left flank. There has not been one player in that time since Eden Hazard left us that's made the left wing position his own. We've had every youth player you can imagine, from exciting talents like Pulisic, club-grown talents like Hudson-Odoi, unbelievable splurges on players like Mikhailo Mudryk, and youth team gambles on your Gittins and Garnachos. We've tried every single tactic, every single strategy, every single assessment. It's time for Chelsea to get serious right now and sign someone who is guaranteed. Someone who's been there and done it now the last 5 years, that has titles behind his name. It's time to sign a winger past the age of 24 that we haven't done since Pedro signed for us from Barcelona. Argument 2, goal distribution. For the last 4 years now, we've seen goals evenly distributed across many players. And outside of some incredible seasons by Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, who's finding the goals now more regularly, there's been no domineering figure, no one that's generally causing any type of fear. With the focus on attacking mids behind the striker, it means that the wingers act as the support players. And a lot of times, we've seen how Chelsea wingers are encouraged to play backwards or to play inside because the zones don't really open up for them to really run towards goal, cause havoc, and get enough 1v1 positions. For me, it's time to redistribute where the goal sources should be coming from. I don't think for the next 4 years now, it should be continuing this attacking mid experiment. I think you give power back to the wingers. My fear, my insecurity is I don't want to see Cole Palmer becoming the Bruno Fernandes of Chelsea. Let me explain what I mean by this. I don't want elite individual numbers from one player that's disguising a broken team. I don't want a one-man rescue mission that's dressed up as a functional attack. I don't want one guy that the team's fully dependent on. For me, a proper front three fixes this problem. Stop distributing goals across the whole team. Concentrate them on the best part of the team, the front three, and let the rest of the team serve them. I want to see Palmer thriving not as the goal finisher, but as the conductor. I want him to evolve. I want him to be the guy that supplements the front three, threads passes, pulls strings, splits lines with his incredible through balls. And I think this would serve Palmer a lot better, because as Cole Palmer moved more central into Chelsea's entire attack, it felt like he lost a lot of his game. He got targeted a lot more. He was getting hacked from behind. Injuries came, and his influence started to wane, which then resulted in arguments that Nicholas Jackson should come back to play up front because it makes Palmer better. Chelsea have to be better than a one-man army. I need a front three. It's that simple. We've got many of the moving parts right now. There's one more final piece of the jigsaw. That front three has to be Esteval right hand side, Joao in the middle, and Leao on the left hand side. Argument 3, killing the lazy narrative. I'm not going to lie, you guys, the lazy narrative has been doing my head in a little bit. Now, Leao came out recently to talk about how he suffered with injury last season. He had growing pains lasting from 4 to 5 months, similar to what we saw from Cole Palmer. And he also spoke about being used outside of his best position once Allegri decided 3-5-2 was the way to go, as he was converted into playing as a channel striker. But outside of all of that, Leao's just a lazy guy to begin with, no? And can Chelsea afford to cover someone's slack? Now, I think it's rich coming from Chelsea fans, considering we had a maestro in Eden Hazard where we rightfully, but I feel like this argument just misses so much nuance, yeah? I don't need to see Leao tracking back 60 yards. There's a difference between pressing in packs and units and tracking back. And I feel like the lazy label is like one of the biggest misdirections, right? Guys like Robben were lazy, Ronaldinho was lazy, Cristiano Ronaldo was lazy, Mbappe's lazy. I'm not gonna lie, man, the common pattern is it's a lazy narrative, in my opinion, that always follows the most explosive, game-changing type of players who normally aren't being lazy because they can't be bothered, but they're normally conserving their energy to be a constant threat from any point in the game, from the first minute right to the last minute. They're using ways to save their legs because they can bring danger at any point. At Milan, he's being exposed. Allegri wasted his time playing him in the front two, where every week he's playing with a different striker. He's 100% missed having Theo Hernandez backing him down that left-hand side as well. He's in a system where he's asked to create from nothing, with no one else around him. But under Alonso, I think Chelsea offer the conditions that make this guy work. One thing we have in abundance are the type of midfield players that want to knock a man down. They want to win that ball. They want to harry. They want to cover spaces. They want to be proactive. They want to put their studs in. We got screeners and we got destroyers. The midfield three can worry about defensive responsibilities, yeah? That's their job. We need Leao and that front three to focus on terrifying defenses. And I think Alonso could be that guy because his Leverkusen team showed one thing. He knows how to separate the functions in the system. They scored 89 goals in the Bundesliga to win it, the most in their club history. Their attacking players were liberated because they had a midfield that did that dirty work. Argument 4, what we can offer Leao that he never had at AC Milan. The big thing missed for Leao at AC Milan that everyone forgets about and doesn't talk about was missing the presence of Olivier Giroud up front. Giroud scored double digits when they won the Scudetto, and some of Leao's best football came in. Obviously, Hernandez was beside him, but most importantly when Giroud was up front, pinning centre-backs, bringing people into the game, being a focal point. And since Giroud left, Milan have been a mess when it comes to finding strikers up front. This is well documented. Everyone knows this. In that 21-22 Scudetto winning season, Leao got 14 goals, Giroud also got 14 goals, and Leao assisted Giroud 5 times that season. To make a great team, it's about having complementary figures and players that support and strengthen each other's game. That's how this stuff works. That's how you go to a team that transcends its levels and goes right to the top. And the beautiful thing is, we can offer Leao that type of similar player in Joao Pedro. Someone who's shown that he can hold play, link play. And I think the link play from Joao Pedro is still underutilized because he doesn't have that partner in crime down that left-hand side. This guy has through balls for days and he's just dying to provide it to someone who's got quality down that left side. For the first time, Leao could have a proper spine to play off and actual partners alongside him. Combined with Alonso's pace of play and willingness to get balls quickly and directly to wingers, I'm not going to lie, man, I just see the vision where Leao absolutely cooks. And for argument 5, the front three. I want to end by talking about why I feel like this is the front three that we've been waiting for the last 6 years now. I've said this and I've said this again. Esteval Willian is one of the most important players that we've bought, I think, in our modern day history. But there's big pressure on Chelsea to get things right with Esteval because this is someone we've signed that has Ballon d'Or potential. Those types of players who have that, they come along once every 10 years. That's how important it was that we was able to secure one of the best players for the future that normally goes to Barcelona's and Real Madrid's. We have to ensure that Esteval has made a prominent figure in this team, and Esteval has to be the king down that right flank. If he's supported by Joao Pedro, who's the perfect link player, the Benzema role, who can play back to goal, make those runs in behind, an all-round star, that left flank has to be up to speed. And there's no one better in the market right now for this type of price, for this type of opportunity than Rafael Leao for your left flank. We have to stop cycling through developmental options. We need guaranteed quality right now. We have to think about not just the short term, but where we're going to be in the medium to long term. Our shelf life for projects at the moment is 12 to 18 months. You can't do anything with that type of shelf life. Leao has been suffering in a team that he's outgrown now for the last few years. Milan can't offer him that. They don't have the right player quality. Look at the downgrades since guys like Chelse and Tonali and Hernandez and Giroud all left them. Compare that Scudetto winning team to where they are right now. That kickstarted us where we are right now. But what, we want to have a schoolboy nicey nice team full of just NPC characters? The game doesn't work like that. Yeah, success in the game comes down to the best clubs able to buy the best players. That's how the game is now. That's how the game will always be. Kvaratskhelia had to leave Napoli to find himself, and boy has he found himself playing in a system that elevates him around like-minded players on his wavelength, and he's now showing things that even him himself didn't even realize he could do. You guys know me, when I believe in a player, I just know, man. I did the same thing for Joao Pedro, even though guys mocked me. I'm doing the same thing for Leao. You've heard my arguments. This is why Chelsea must sign Rafael Leao this summer. Give me your opinions. Discuss below.